Ukraine's massive column, while sneaking through Russian defense, was badly ambushed. It's day 902 of Russia's operation in Ukraine. Let's dive deeper. Starting from the Sumy front. It is now very clear that Ukrainians are failing to replicate their success of the first days, as their new assaults are met with strong Russian resistance. In my previous report, I cleared lots of confusion regarding the delayed combat footage and chaos of geolocation. At Zaporizhzhia, as Russian resistance was high, Ukrainian brigades were forced to bypass the city from both flanks, with the objective of threatening Russian resistance with encirclement. However, apart from the success at the southeastern flank, their attacks at northwestern flanks were repelled. In the meantime, they continued to storm the city along the highway. One day ago, we saw footage of Russians shelling Ukrainians in the houses, which was geolocated here. But many sources believe that this footage is a couple of days old, and the attack was repelled. However, recently we got another footage from the Ukrainian side. In the footage we can see Ukrainians driving around crossroads, which means this area has likely come under their control. Ukrainian concentration in this area is massive. As I explained in my previous report, Ukraine wants to capture the city and turn it into a fortress before the Russian counterattack. In our previous report, I explained to you how Ukrainian forces were avoiding major highways and roads, and are now forced to move along the country roads. As Russia doesn't have long defense lines, Ukrainian forces are sneaking through the gaps. Similar thing happened south of Zaporizhzhia. Couple of days ago we saw how Ukrainian forces crossed the river and captured areas on the other side. However, they were not able to advance further, as Russians were able to repel the attack. But they continued to attack and secured the southern outskirts of the Plakova. From here, DRGs started attacking eastwards. One day ago, fights were reported near Bakhmut. However, this advance was never confirmed. But recently, Ukrainian forces launched a massive attack. They were apparently moving along the country roads. Their objective was likely to penetrate deep and form a bridgehead. They moved to Spalna to Kropyats to Kamasna. However, in one of the villages their column was spotted by Russian forces, and they set up an ambush in Giri. Their column soon entered Giri, where one of the lone Ukrainian vehicles was spotted by the locals. However, soon things took a turn. Their column came under fire from Russian forces. They were ambushed at a very close range with drones and other types of ammunition. According to Russian sources, Ukrainians suffered the biggest loss in a single attack. In recent footage we can see several Ukrainian equipment were destroyed, and the infantry that took cover in the forest were also attacked. However, many sources claim this area has come under Ukrainian control, because it is possible that as Ukrainian columns were moving forwards, they would have dropped a couple of units in these villages. However, at the moment we do not have 100% confirmation of the capture. We are seeing an even more complicated situation a little south. Couple of days ago, fights were reported near Belia. Many sources believe Ukrainian DRGs would have traveled along this path. However, Russian sources deny this advance. This shows us that there are still gaps in Russian defense. But as soon as Ukrainians came near Russian resistance, they suffered huge losses. However, in the coming days, we might see Russia deploying several of their special forces units to these small villages, from where they can create similar ambushes. This would be an ideal scenario for special forces. In addition, Ukraine tried at several other areas to attack, however they were all repelled by Russians. At the end of my previous report, I reported how Ukrainian forces launched an attack with armored vehicles on Avdiivka, but I said it was repelled. Recent we got footage of one of the attack. We can see that the Ukrainian vehicle was destroyed before it reached the border. The Ukrainian commander-in-chief in a recent meeting said they control around 1,000 square kilometers in the Kursk region. Subscribe for more frontline updates. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.